is fueled up already because you have had your lunch and yung iba po alam ko nag-enjoy pa ng lunch. But at this point, we'll be continuing with our afternoon session. And our first speaker for this afternoon is the Regional Director of Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, Region 3. And he finished his bachelor's degree in Inland Fisheries in Central Luzon State University in 1983. And his master's degree in aquaculture at Pangasinan State University in 2007. Currently, he's taking his doctorate degree in rural development at Central Luzon State University Open University. In February 2015, RD was awarded as Outstanding Alumni of Central Luzon State University, while on September 2019, he was awarded as the Dangal ng DP sa larangan ng agrikultura ng Province of Bulacan, Philippines, owing to his outstanding leadership and significant contribution in uplifting the fisheries and aquaculture sector in Central Luzon region. Rise from the ranks, RD found its way to become the Regional Director of Region 3 due to fitness and merits. Aside from his position in the government, he is also affiliated to some civic and non-government organizations like Philippine Association of Research Managers, Society of Aquaculture Engineers of the Philippines, Philippine Aquaculture Society, and the Knights of Columbus. Currently, is the Philippine National Focal Person of the milkfish commodity. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to the RD of BFOR Region 3, Sir Wilfredo M. Cruz.
Thank you very much for that very generous introduction. Of course, our Asik Daniel Ataide, sir. Our Yusek Emerson Miembro Diodia, sir. And of course, our President Tony Dizon. I'm very, very grateful to be invited to this very prestigious event. It's the first time that I was invited, and in fact, before we are not aware that there's this cold chain association of the Philippines. So I hope we will be invited for the next, of course, annual meeting, because before it's a lot of projects regarding cold chain, and we are there already to, of course, to develop the cold chain on the fisheries sector. So today I would like to, of course, give you some information about the programs that are being implemented by the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources in general. As mentioned, I am also the national focal person for Bangus Commodity. So next slide, please. So my presentation content is about, of course, number one, the status of fisheries sector, the challenges in fisheries sector, and the Philippine fisheries governance. And of course, number four, as related to this prestigious event, the cold chain gaps and opportunities in fisheries sector. So next slide. Next slide. So as you can see, we have very vast resources in terms of fisheries. We have the longest coastline in the world, about 36,000 kilometers. We have the territorial waters, of course, including the contested areas, the south area. We have also the coral reefs, and in fact, we are the center of the coral biodiversity. And we have swamplands also, and of course, we have other inland, the fish ponds. We have the fish ponds of 2,500 and other inland resources. As you can see on the left side, with the enactment of the Fisheries Administrative Order 263, these fisheries management areas were created for the so-called ecosystem approach to fisheries management. So, these are regions who were, of course, grouped into fisheries management areas. Next slide, please. For our fisheries contribution to the economy, as you can see, about 12.82% of our gross value added of agriculture, forestry, and fishing are from contributed by the fishery sector. It is, of course, third from the crops and also second from the livestock. So, ganun po kalaki yung contribution. And let's look at the balance of trade in fisheries. As you can, next slide. As you can see, the balance of trade in fisheries. Though, of course, we import a lot, but in terms of value, our exports has a bigger value both in 2021 and in 2022. Next slide. And for our fisheries production in 2022, our biggest production in terms of fisheries comes from aquaculture, which is 54.15%. Of course, leading the region is the barn, but of course, these are aquaculture fish commodities. Mostly, these are seaweeds. And of course, followed by the municipal, meaning the fisheries that are gathered by our municipal fisheries from the coastline to 15 kilometers. And the 19% is, of course, contributed by the commercial fisheries, those bigger boats that fish beyond 15 kilometers. Next slide. Then, of course, I included the next slide. I included in my presentation the numbers of commercial fishing vessel profiles so that for the association to appreciate where this cold chain can be, of course, can be considered. The commercial fishing vessel, of course, there are three types for our. These are the small scale, or the municipal scale is from up to 3.1, and then we have this medium scale and the large scale. As you can see in the slide, we have about a total of 5,000 boats, fishing boats, and large scale are 304, meaning these are the fishing boats with 150 more and more gross tonnage. Particularly, most of these are located in Region 12 of the Jensen area, and these are also the fishing vessels that go in the high seas packets are, of course, operating. Next slide. Then let's go to the regional fish ports. So, based on the Philippine Fisheries Development Authority, we have these fish ports. Number one is from the Region 1, Sual, we have this Tabotas, the Iloilo Fish Port, the Zamboanga, of course, the famous Jensan, the Lucena, the Camaligan Fish Port in Cabansur, the Bulan in Sorsogon, and the Davao Fish Port in Region 11. Next slide. Then I also included of course, the mariculture parks. These were of course, the reason why our aquaculture grows consistently through the years because of the establishment of mariculture parks. We have about 67 mariculture parks located in the different areas of the country. The next slide. For our consumption, fish and fishery products are the second most consumed food in the Philippines, following the rice and rice products. They make up 11.7% of the daily intake of each Filipino, This is 63% higher than the meat and the meat products, and 206% higher than the poultry. So, sabihin prepared. Filipinos still prepare the fish for their food. Now let's come to the challenges. Next slide. Challenges in fishery sectors. So we identified 5 major challenges in fishery sectors. 2 are related on this alcohol chain. Number 1 is the depleted fishery resources that's brought about by the excessive fishing efforts and the open access regimes. So up to now, most of particularly the municipal waters are non-delineated. So still have a long way to go. And of course, the underutilized areas for industry developments, both on aquaculture and commercial fisheries. In aquaculture, of course, we have about 4,000 hectares of FLA, the Fish Fund Lease Agreements. But recently, the FAO 197-2 was amended in compliance also with the ease of doing business. And of course, the limited resources of stock supply for aquaculture, being the national focal person for bangus, about 60 to 70% of our bangus supply are still imported from Indonesia. But we have already programs to, of course, to address the problem. And those related in culture are the uncompetitive products doing inferior quality and safety products. And number 2 is the post-harvest losses in terms of physical, nutritional, and value losses. Next slide. And of course, what are the causes of post-harvest? As we all know, these are the inappropriate post-harvest handling. Of course, the inappropriate post-harvest, the inappropriate practices in some aquaculture facilities, the non-compliance to cold chain system, the inappropriate post-harvest practice in some handling and trading practice facilities, and of course the inappropriate marketing, transport, and distribution facilities and infrastructures. And on the last is inappropriate handling and preparation techniques by the consumer. Next slide. So, based on the study of Tadifa et al. In 2022, our estimated losses, particularly in two-size landing area in the wet market, the losses is 3.98% in landing, and in wet market is 0.44%, aside from the handling from the from hatching. Next slide. Now, regarding the Philippine Fisheries governance, next slide. So, on top, of course, we are under the Department of Agriculture. So, under the Department of Agriculture, there are 3 agencies, of course, that are involved in our fishery sectors, like the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, who is in charge of aside from the aquaculture, the coastal resource management, the capture fisheries, and aquaculture. We have this coastal technology and maritime support services. And we have the National Fisheries Research Development Institute, who is in charge of the research and development. And we have the Philippine Fisheries Development Authority, the agency in charge for post-harvest facilities establishment and also the port facilities. Next slide. So in terms of cold chain and post-harvest development, the 3 agencies align their program with. So we have the Philippine Development Plan, the NACMIT, this National Fisheries and Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization, and in this plan, the multi-year plan for the agriculture and fisheries sector. We have the Comprehensive National Fisheries Development Plan and the comprehensive post-harvest marketing and senior development plan. And also we have roadmaps from different commodities which are now requested for review. And of course, next slide. For our other projects, so the World Bank approved this loan from the Philippine government, the Fiscal project. It is, of course, for the Department of Agriculture, it is synonymous to the PRDP. So, though it is intended purely for fishers sector. So, it is the purpose or the objective of this program is to, of course, the focus on the restoration and conservation of mangrove system, which play a critical role in coastal protection and diversity. So the project cost 11.42 billion, and of course, one of the component of the project is the establishment of fish landing sites, multi-species hatcheries, cold storage, and we have the targets. The project started last August, and now it's continuing. So we have targets for 3 years, as shown in the slide. So we have fish landing facility, ice plant and cold storage, common service facilities purposely for fish processing. We have also laboratory, warehouses, and common post-harvest facilities. For gaps, cold chain gaps and opportunities in fishery sector, of course, simply, next slide. Next slide. Yes, these are simply cold chain in fisheries as illustrated for the local catch, from the boat, processing plants, logistics, and cold storage. And for the imports, from imported fish to cold storage, logistics, and of course the institutional buyers and the local markets. Next slide. As per Philippine Fisheries Development Authority Master Plan for 2020 to 2028, they have targets of about 32 cold storage located in almost every region of the country. So, as you can see in the slides. We have also, next slide, proposed ice plant and cold storage, but from two different sites in the country. Of course, as shown in the slides, Lawag, Benguet, and also Masinloc, Zambales. On the Pacific side, we have the Santa Ana, the Casuguran, Aurora, Baler, and of course up to Sultan Naga de Maporo in Lanao del Norte. Next slides. Yeah. I guess that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Father.